Hi, I'm Sam from DIY Huntress, and I have a scrapwood hoarding addiction. The first step is admitting you have a problem, right? And then in some point in that 12-step process, I know that you're supposed to do something about it. So I partnered up with 20 other amazing bloggers for a scrapwood challenge. Today I'm going to show you how to make custom scrapwood coasters using 3 basic power tools: a table saw, a miter saw, and a sander. Let's get started. If you're looking for a list of the products and materials used in this project, you can go ahead and visit my website by clicking on the link below this video. There you will also find a step-by-step tutorial as well. First step in this project was to dig through my scrapwood pile to find pieces to use for my coasters. I decided to settle on 2 pieces of white maple, a piece of haddock, and a piece of walnut. And while I go ahead and dig through the scrap pile, it's a really great time to tell you that this project is sponsored by DAP. Once I had my pieces, I went ahead and stacked them in a way that made me really happy. I also made sure that they were 3.5 inches high so that when I cut them later, I do have 3.5 inch coasters. Because this is a scrapwood project, one of the pieces I was using was actually a mess up from a CNC project, so I just went ahead and sawed off about a 1/16 of an inch just to get rid of that design and to start fresh. Once I was finally happy with my pieces, I went ahead and just tried to make them all a similar width and length. This is going to make gluing up so much easier later on. Now at this point in the process, a lot of other hardwood coaster tutorials tell you to use a surface planer. However, I was trying to make this project as relatable as possible, so instead I just used a sander to flatten out the pieces. I also made sure to place them on top of one another to make sure that the seams were virtually non-existent. Once I was happy with the way that all the pieces were touching each other, I went ahead and added some DAP Carpenter's glue and began to layer all the pieces. I also made sure to spread that glue love around each piece for a nice and even glue up. At the end of this process, you will have a fully functioning block that you will cut into small coaster slices. Once I finished gluing everything up, I went ahead and used my clamps to clamp down on the piece. I pretty much tried to hit every major pressure point that I could think of. Once everything was clamped together, I got some really beautiful squeeze out. So I went ahead and just used a rag to wipe away the excess glue. If you aren't a wiper, you can also chisel this away once it's dry, whatever floats your boat. After letting the glue sit for a couple of hours, I then went ahead and removed all of the clamps. Once you have removed all of the clamps you have used in your entire workshop, it is time to cut out your coasters. At this point, I took my block to the table saw and just cut one solid pass at a 1/2 inch thick. I then went ahead and flipped the block over and then cut on the other side as well. This made sure that my hands were safe throughout the entirety of the cut. I went ahead and made the same method of passes throughout this block another 3 times. In total, you will want 4 slices that you will then trim to your final coaster dimensions. Once I had all 4 slices, it was time to cut down the width to 3.5 inches wide to make a perfect square coaster. Because the coasters were so small, I really wanted to think safety first, so I decided to make a little bit of a makeshift clamp here by clamping down a longer piece of wood and then applying pressure to that wood in order to hold the coaster down while cutting. It actually worked really well. Once the coasters were cut to size, I went ahead and I did some more sanding. I also made sure to add a slight round over on every single edge throughout the sanding process as well. Now for everyone's favorite part, I applied some finish. I wanted to go with a finish that was durable and also dried fast, but was also food safe. I was really picky about the finish here and decided at the end of the day that Rubio Monocoat was my best bet. And now for arguably my favorite part of this project. Once they are done, you can go ahead and slap those bad boys on the table and brag about how you made some awesome coasters out of scrap wood. For more project ideas, please make sure to click that subscribe button. You can also visit my website at DIYhuntress.com and check out some more ideas there as well. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and happy DIYing.